Next, in third place on the list of top 10 bombers, the first pressurized aircraft that earned a hard-hitting reputation and became one of the most famous bombers of all time.
The B29 Super Fortress. Manufacturer, Boeing Airplane Company. Power plant, 4 Wright Cyclone 2,200 horsepower supercharged radial engines. Top speed 357 miles per hour. Payload 20,000 pounds. Armament 10.50 caliber machine guns, 1 20mm cannon. Range 3,250 miles.
With the outbreak of World War II, the U.S. knew that to take the road to victory, they had to be able to bomb Japan, so a long-haul aircraft was needed. But equally important, if Britain fell to the Nazis, the U.S. needed to take the fight to Germany.
The B-29 was meant to be like a B-17, only much bigger. So it had lots and lots of machine guns bristling all over it, and it was going to be able to fly very, very high out of the range of ground-based anti-aircraft artillery, and it was going to be able to go very, very far.
As far back as 1936, the Boeing company had been addressing the problem of an aircraft that could deliver weapons on mainland Europe. The answer was the B-29.
It was a very advanced design, and it was daring because it was new airfoil, new set of flaps, brand new engines, brand new electric propellers, brand new fire control system, brand new pressurization system.
After initial development problems, the B-29 finally entered service in early 1944. Immediately, the Super Fortress was a winner.
B-29 is called the Super Fortress because it is just a super extended version of what the B-17 had already delivered. The B-29 had to deliver much longer range. It also was one of the first to incorporate a primitive form of radar. Perhaps no other bomber did as much to change the course of warfare than the B-29.
But despite its speed of 357 miles per hour and its payload of 20,000 pounds, this sophisticated bomber was not an easy aircraft to fly.
It was ponderous and propellers that were prone to failure. You had engines that were prone to fire. It was not an airplane that people became attached to. It was an airplane that people were glad to get out of when the time came.
As the bloody struggle reached its climax in the Pacific, the B-29s were always there pounding the Japanese mainland. During early 1945, the Super Fortresses hit Tokyo. But it was the atom bomb raids that made the legend of the B-29 Super Fortress. On the morning of August 6, 1945, a B-29 called Enola Gay took off from the island of Tinian and dropped the world's first atom bomb on Hiroshima. 3 days later, another B-29 called Boxcar delivered a similar weapon against Nagasaki. Japan surrendered, and World War II was over. After the war, the B-29 became the mainstay of the newly formed Strategic Air Command. For 15 years, this aircraft was a major player of the U.S. Air Force's frontline bomber group. So for service length, gets a high rating. Fear factor must also register high, as does defensive armament. But payload and innovation are medium, and the B-29 comes in at number 3 in the top 10 best bombers.